Hey guys, just doing another market analysis today. Just having a look at gbpusd. Using a different strategy for more trades. Just trying to work on something that gives me more trades because the other one was only giving me. I only got one last week. The week before I got three. I was looking for something with a little bit more potential, potentially longer term. Something that didn't need a code as much, even though I would like to code it. Just something that didn't really require a robot to work well. So, anyways, I've kind of modified two MACDs and using a default Bollinger Band. I added the volume indicator with a moving average, so you guys can test a different number to see which moving average works best for you for the volume. For me, I kind of did a pretty high amount of days to average the volume out, so anything higher would than the line would show high volume. Anyways, I kind of did a I'll just show you guys so no one thinks that I'm just making it up, or some people might have doubts or something, so I'll just kind of show. I entered a position in the New York session, just testing out this strategy. So I entered a GBP long here. So I just said that as you know, tomorrow's going to be the rate hikes for the Fed interest rate decision. So I just mentioned that I wanted to be in for a potential day trade for a 50 pip target, and I want to close before the U.S. Fed rate hike decision, and I was in since the New York session. So that has moved about 10 pips, potentially another 30 or 40 to go. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm working on something a little bit different. Still looking to code this strategy into an EA. Shouldn't be too hard. It instead of the histogram, it uses the signal this time, so the actual MACD signal instead of the histogram. And then it just uses Bollinger Band, so it's pretty simple. Coding the crossover for the MACD, I haven't found out how to do it yet. I think because for MetaTrader it's kind of difficult because I think one of the lines is missing, like the MACD line or something. So you kind of have to make it into a custom indicator. It's kind of tricky, but I'm sure it can be done. Obviously, it's just numbers and stuff and just plotting a line, so it shouldn't be too hard. Basically, I'm just looking for oversold positions when if you guys want to follow along yourselves, I'm on the 4-hour chart, but when the price comes down to the lower band of the Bollinger Band, it's kind of slightly oversold, and I'm just looking for a signal, potentially sometimes in the middle as well. So we'll just see how it goes. It's a modified MACD, of course, so that's kind of the thing. It's a little bit faster, so I'm kind of testing. It would be nice to have this whole robot set up so I could just test the numbers, just optimize, just to see which numbers work better. So just a little future hobby project to go on in C++. So anyways, yeah, so potentially we could see the pound come up maybe to the midline of that 20 SMA. I think it's a 20 SMA. Anyways, a middle Bollinger Band potentially come up to there would be a target. Stop would be either a recross down of the MACD or potentially I think a recross down at this point. I'm still deciding whether it should be a recross down or a touch of the bottom channel again. I'm thinking a recross down. We'll have to see. Again, it's still in the works, so I'll update you guys. Not using volume currently, but volume is starting to pick up, as you can see. I think in the next candle we could see the pound come up a little bit higher. This also gives daily signals, because could be seeing a short, not yet. There's no signal as you can see, but potentially sometime later in the week, I'm thinking we could maybe get a short at some point. Obviously these signals are pretty high, like this entry here was open at 111, 1.11166, closed at almost 115. So definitely 200 pips on the midline and plus another 200 pips at the top. So daily signals can be a lot. Already it seems to be working okay. Yesterday missed a bunch of good signals. For example, we had the nice cross down here. We had the faster MACD crossing down. Nice connection. Still able to catch these candles potentially. Definitely on US Swiss franc, there's a nice, even better trade for a massive amount. So it's nice to see some of these signals actually. So yeah, really cool. At least something to kind of watch or just code for fun. It's cool to practice my coding skills and stuff. Like you guys should too if you like coding. Just practice coding some EAs for fun. It's good practice. It's a good skill to know. So anyways, oil had their short. I think we talked about that last time. That we said that we had some high volume. I didn't have these indicators set up, but yeah, we definitely did have the short. We were talking about the high sell volume. I think it was in that candle or this candle. It might have even been this candle because I remember the volume spiking up. If you guys remember the last video, but that short went pretty hard here. We had the Bitcoin short as mentioned. So this strategy doesn't require as much volume. You can enter in low volume periods, which is nice too. Try to get in early. This one we had the Bitcoin short on the weekend. Sorry, that's ETH. ETH had the short too. So the Bitcoin short opened up at 20,775, and we had a target of like 400 points or more. So it was pretty good. Some pretty good signals here. Obviously not all of them are going to hit, so hopefully at least 70% of them hit. So again, that's all testing. We'll have to run tests after the EA setup, so I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, now so in the news we have the big news, massive news coming out tomorrow. So the US is having a Fed rate hike decision. I think it's FOMC. Where is it? That's today. So US was green today, so was the pound. In high volatility news, we had the PMI green for GBP, higher than expected, a little bit lower than previous. The manufacturing PMI, then we had the same for the US, so it's kind of square there, and then we had for the ISM manufacturing PMI for the states, we had greater than expected and less than previous, so it's on par with Great Britain in that case. And we had the ISM manufacturing prices. Actually, sorry, not that. So we had JOLT's job openings for September coming in at higher than expected for September, and higher than previous. So a little bit stronger data coming out for the US. Nothing too crazy though. Didn't shake the market that much. Maybe because they had kind of a tie report from a previous standpoint for ISM manufacturing. New Zealand coming out with some news. That should be right now, unless I'm... What times? Oh, I'm in Eastern time zone, no wonder. So New Zealand came out with some news around 2 o'clock. my time. Employment change was green, so fundamentally bullish, at least for this session. From a previous standpoint as well, so we could potentially see some more bullish fundamentals for the New Zealand dollar. We have so we had the Royal Bank of New Zealand governor speak as well. That's about it for tomorrow. We have the German manufacturing PMI. So high volatility for the euro. We have non-farm payrolls we have non-farm employment change for the states. And then we have the crude oil inventories, of course, on a Wednesday. And then we have the FOMC Fed interest rate decision at 11 o'clock my time. So that's going to be 2 o'clock Eastern time or New York time. So obviously that's going to be huge. It's an expected 0.75% increase. So they're looking at a 0.75% rate increase, interest rate increase from the last time, which was 3.25%. So expected is 4%. Would they continue over 5%? That is a question we'll have to see. That's about it. So that's going to be huge. Obviously, that's like massive news, of course. The biggest economic news that's going to shake up the market. So we'll see what's going to happen. Probably exit out, wait for that to happen, and then just wait for the market to shake up a little bit, and then just wait for the next trade after that. So you might want to hold out if you're in a trade during that time, or your EA is on or something. You might want to turn it off. It's up to you, really. Depends. It's on you. Obviously, some people disregard news completely, so it's true. You don't really need to. So yeah, pretty much. Well, that's pretty much it for. I did mention we had the Russell 2000. I should add that to this. So small. Obviously, the whole. Not obviously, but I don't know if you guys know, but the stock market indexes today not doing very well. Some stocks doing okay, but others, for the overall index, was not doing very good. They had the short. I mentioned a short on Twitter for this, for the Russell, for small caps. Again, with this signal. Did that touch up there? High of 15.856. It actually didn't, but it still went short, so that's alright. Actually, it did down here, up here, further back. So it it's been moving pretty bullish for the last few days until today. I'll try to add the small caps. I did add the miners as well and some other crosses to the Forex pairs. Let's see, NASDAQ. So yeah, NASDAQ had initially was bullish for the first part of the signal and then ended up dumping. That can also be because personally, stock indexes have a lot more factors than just that. Like obviously they have than just the market algorithms, because they have pretty much like shady corporations, manipulations, stuff like that. So I think strategies work better. Like algorithmic strategies, they work better with the Forex majors. That's my opinion. It seems like if you test them on a strategy tester, that they always perform better. So you guys can test that out for yourself. Your favorite strategy, you can back test it and see if it performs better on a Forex major versus the NASDAQ or the S&P. Anyway, so yeah, that was it. Any good signals right now? Let's see here. Kind of choppy there. Not very smooth. Ethereum anything right now. A little bit of a long we had, but it wasn't the greatest because it was at neutral when that signal hit. So we'll have to see what'll happen there. Pretty neutral right now, to be honest. Crypto right now. Pretty much the market's just waiting for the rate hike news. Everything else was probably just gonna move with any other bigger trades. Like this one is pretty good. So we'll have to see what will happen for the market news. Obviously, keep your eye on the news. That would be pretty good to just kind of watch at least what happens. You can expect a rate hike, probably 0.75%. Seems pretty reasonable. Inflation in the US was pretty much rising this month, so they still want to bring it down, so hopefully it helps. It's really going to shake up the market. So yeah, maybe we'll just... The euro's kind of moving the same. All pairs are kind of moving the same with the US dollar current weakness for now. That's kind of the trend here, pretty much for the most part. They're not all going to be 100% correlated. Obviously, like, they won't be 100% correlated. But for example, this one had a huge short, so it's kind of like not having as much of a big short right now compared to other ones where didn't have a massive long signal until now. So we'll see what happens. Went over Australia. Do we go? Yeah, I think we did. We went over Australia. No, we did. Okay, so yeah, we had pretty big spike, to be honest. That's a pretty big trade, to be honest. Open at 0.63904. High. What did I say? Yeah, so high of 0.64638. So almost 100 pips there. 63904. Yeah, so like 70 pips or so. That's pretty big. Quite a lot, obviously. The New Zealand dollar had the news today. They had a even bigger spike, I believe. 582, 585. Actually, no, right around the same. So yeah, maybe we'll just do a little bit of the crosses. Potentially bears for Euro GBP. Not yet. Soon. Soon we could be looking at potential bears for the cross. The Euro GBP. Potential target maybe down somewhere down here by that support area. 0.85720. Yeah, but more than 100 pips, so that could be happening. Crosses, obviously, if there's no US dollar involved, they could be moving differently, a lot differently. So yeah, so check them out. Doesn't hurt to have the minors. I still think the majors perform better on strategies as well. Just be cautious of that. But you guys can test them out because some people do use them for EAs, of course. Some people swear by them performing better, so it's all up to you guys. Nothing right now for that, kind of flat. Let's see, for here, had the short. Oh, we already talked about that. Apologize. So yeah, this had the short, GBP, JPY. Not the best. It was already kind of neutral at that point. Not that great for that pair. Here it's already kind of neutral. Not that great either. Swiss franc against the yen. Not that great either. Nothing really happening with that. Two more minors, I think. It's not that great. Current 474. not looking too spectacular. This one was looking nicer because it was already, well, maybe, yeah, it's all, you guys have to calculate how many pips away is your target and see which one's the most potentially, and then take that one. So again, the majors are always the best thing to trade. I'm just kind of just having a look at these just for fun. Doesn't hurt. Sometimes you might get a signal when everything else is flat, so you can just check it out. Oh, there's an okay signal here, not too bad. 86488. Midlines at the neutral, the middle Bollinger Bands around 86.050. So 40 pips, 43, yeah, 43.8 or something. Not too bad, actually. That one's not bad. So potentially we could see the New Zealand dollar against the JPY move down there, potentially even move down there. I wouldn't assume going all the way down, but potentially down here. So yeah, that's pretty much just gonna wrap this market analysis up for you guys. Maybe we'll just look at a few stocks here. Not looking too algorithmic with these stocks. Bank stocks moving higher as the other indexes moving lower, so I recommend sticking to Forex for strategies. That's why stock indexes don't perform as well. I've seen that from just kind of like just testing. Like, it seems like Forex always moves a little bit better. Like, see, this signal was here, the short was here, but it didn't start moving till it went up first, and then not really starting to move till now. So I feel like at least on the faster one, on the faster MACD, not moving as well, or on that